Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm coming with a nasiha. Nasiha for my Muslim sisters about the hijab. And I want to use something what will help you a little bit, inshallah, to understand in how great position, how blessed you are living in these days if it comes to the hijab. But first and foremost, let's establish what is the correct hijab. And we should already know that the correct hijab is what covers your body and the shape of your body. From the very top to the very bottom, excluding your eyes. And I know, many of you will probably try to argue with me in the comments and will be angry to hear that I included face in it. But this is the truth. And that is what the Salaf agreed upon. All four main scholars of Islam agree that in the times of fitna, which we definitely are now, hijab includes covering the face. And we have evidence for it. I recommend you to read as well a tafsir, a really good tafsir of Ibn Kathir. Recommend to read about it. Check the ayah 33:59. Check the ayah 24:31. And let's have a look on really important hadith if it comes to the matter of covering the face. It is a hadith, Sahih al-Bukhari 4758. Narrated by Aisha. May Allah bestow His mercy on the early immigrant woman. When Allah revealed and to draw their veils all over their juyubihinna, their bodies, faces, necks, and bosoms, it is the ayah 31 of the surah 24. They tore their murat and covered their heads, faces with those torn murats. What women have done when the ayah of Quran 24:31 was revealed, their first reaction was grabbing the nearest dresses, woolen clothing they have around, material, to tear it and cover their heads, faces, necks, chest. So they did as well cover their faces. And Aisha radiallahu anha has said that to us. When this ayah went out, none of them went out into, why should I do that? I'm not feeling ready for it. Why men don't cover? Why me, but not men? Why women? Why it's discriminatory? Why it's for us only? Why men did not get the same? Men should not cover their faces as well? No, there was no complaint whatsoever. No questioning, none of that. What they did, it was listen and obey. The first thing was their taqwa would not allow them to even question it. It was a command given, and in this certain moment when they only heard the command, their first thought was to as fast as possible apply it in their lives. While we are living these days and we are searching all kind of excuses, all kind of opinions of the scholars, which would allow us to uncover, which would allow us to wear tight clothing, and so on and so on. There are even those who are trying these days to claim that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not order women to cover their heads, that a hijab is not obligatory, that the woman can walk outside without her hair covered and body covered. Astaghfirullah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from this kind of people. That's only of a trait of the kuffar. If you reject the Quran, if you reject the clear proofs we have, you ain't a Muslim. But we don't speak about kuffar today. So for the sisters, it's really important. I understand, as especially a person who chose Islam and used to live totally different life for most of my life, actually. For my parents, as non-Muslims, till this day, it is something they cannot handle. They cannot fully accept it. They try to tolerate that I'm wearing a niqab, that I'm covering this way. They try to tolerate it, but they fully on do not approve it. And I know about that. But I know who approves and who wants this from me. It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's my creator. And it's the one who wakes me up every single day. He gives me every single day a chance to prove myself to him, so I can earn my place in Jannah. So I always choose him, and he is most important for me. The opinion of my parents, which are non-Muslims, the opinion of other people, the people around me, I don't care about it. I listen and I obey. For a long time, I've been in this jahiliyyah, thinking that a niqab is not fard, that it's not wajib, that it is just a sunnah, it's something recommended but not expected, and so on and so on. And alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, since I heard and I started to search upon the dalil for a niqab to be wajib, I could not leave from my house without feeling of guilt and feeling that I'm disobeying my Rabb, my Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, I put on a niqab because I knew this is a right. This is what will help me to be accepted in Jannah by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Important thing as well, if you just have a look like that, yeah? In the matter, which you may have doubts, when there's the day of judgment, and it turns out that a niqab was not wajib, I will be extra rewarded because I do sunnah in that case, yeah? And you will just be, normal, rewarded for a hijab, okay. But if it's opposite, and it turns out in the day of judgment that niqab was wajib, that it was obligatory upon you, and you did not submit yourself to it, I will be rewarded for obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You will be punished for sinning, because every day you go outside without it on, you do what? Haram. So at the end of the day, if you are not sure, look at this from this perspective. At the end of the day, if it turns out that it was wajib, you will be punished because you were committing a sin. Yeah? But this video is not about trying to convince you and bringing you dalil for a niqab to be wajib. My main point is to let you know how actually easy you have, and from a little bit different perspective. I'm not saying about perspective of people and their judgment, but of actual garment we have, of actual clothing we have. I have been searching a couple days ago for the cultural clothing of Muslim women in the past, in the times of the Khilafah, in different Muslim countries. And subhanallah, what I have seen, it is so beautiful. And first and foremost, they have been covering their faces. You have an example from Bosnia. You have an example from Algeria. You have an example from Egypt. I actually think that, I'm not sure, Allahu Alam, but Egypt had this really big culture of having this thing between eyes. I think maybe a nose string and a niqab comes from there. Allahu Alam. You have an example from Syria. Yeah? There are examples from the culture, from the times when the Khilafah was existing, how Muslim women were wearing. And when you will see those clothing, you will realize how actually that needed to be hard, yet they submitted, yet they were covering fully. most of those clothing were not as easy as we have now, with nice sleeves, with elastics, with tie back, yeah, from behind, yeah. No, none of that. You can see them actually holding everything in one hand. Sometimes, yeah, in some of the photos you can see that they actually hold everything. They put something on their face. It's a different material. Probably the pluses, most likely those materials were not polyester. They were actually natural ones, so the body could breathe with it way better. But if it comes to like a technicality of those clothing, it was super hard. They were going outside, and to maintain their daily routine, I don't know, go buy something for dinner, whatever was their activities outside, they needed to handle in the same time holding almost all of their hijab with one hand and doing with another hand something else. Look how limited they've been. Limited, yeah? They could not go on a bike. They would not go on, I don't know, playing sports with that clothing, yeah? They would not go to enjoy their time in, I don't know, some amusement parks and stuff like this. Astaghfirullah. They would not. And yet, we have so much of comfortable, modern ways with our clothing. I can sit and it's just on me. I don't need to hold it. Yeah? I don't need to hold it to keep it on me. I don't need to sit through the whole video and hold all of this material on me in one hand and keep it stable while I'm talking to you. I don't need. It's just on me. Subhanallah, alhamdulillah, how much we don't appreciate. We need to appreciate what we have. And especially looking back, it's something what will help us to appreciate. Yeah? They still were putting in it a bit of their culture, yeah? Different type of trousers you could see. This really big baggy, subhanallah, trousers. MashaAllah, Allahumma barik. But they keep it not sacrificing their chastity, their modesty, following Islamic ways. Yeah? Even if they put a little bit of their sprinkle on it, a little bit of the culture, and have a different type of wearing in different parts of the Khilafah, yeah? They will still keep it as they should in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I really think as a Muslim women, we really should. How is, subhanallah, guys, I just realized that's actually dark. I don't know how much you see me. This video probably will have a terrible quality. I'm so sorry. I've been into this topic so deeply that I don't even realize that it became dark outside, subhanallah. But yeah, that's actually almost all what I wanted to tell you. Is appreciate the ways you have now. It is actually so easy. You have a jilbabs with halal pants, yeah, this kind of Aladdin, type with elastics on your ankles, so it doesn't, move anywhere. It keeps you stable, yeah. You have a nice sleeves which are holding on well. You have a tie bags behind. You have the pins. You have so many things which are actually making it easy upon you. And also not limit you, yeah? If you need to run, if you need to do something outside, which is gonna expect from you a little bit more activity, you have a jilbab which will hold on tight to your legs, yeah? Doesn't need to be skirt. You can choose something else. They did not have that. It was so hard for them, yet they were submitting. And they were obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Take it into consideration. Next day you will complain about the fact that you need to put on hijab on yourself. And as well, if you are not wearing it, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because it's not for me, it's not for men, it's not for anyone, it's for Allah. We do it fi sabilillah. we do it for our Creator. He told us we obey. We listen and we obey. If you don't have that taqwa, this fear of Allah inside, it's time to invest your time into increasing in knowledge and worrying for yourself. Because as a Muslim means submit to Allah. So submit to Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.